The Workforce Optimization Cycle is a part of an economic recovery series which was developed by Deed's Workforce Strategy Consultants. We are the Workforce Strategy Consultant team. We work closely with and connect key stakeholders by leveraging expertise in the development of workforce strategies within each of our regions. Our team works together to share our successes and implement them throughout Minnesota. As Minnesota begins its phased approach to reopening under the Stay Safe Minnesota plan, businesses and employers of all sizes, industries, and backgrounds are preparing for a new normal. Whether temporary or longer term, the economic disruption caused by COVID-19 has led businesses to reconsider their business prospects and workforce needs. Questions about how, when, and why to bring employees back or hire new employees if need be permeate the moment. Simultaneously, employees who are returning to work have concerns about their health, safety, and job stability. Throughout Minnesota, the economic recovery will depend largely on how well small and mid-sized businesses are able to navigate these choices. To assist, Deed's Workforce Strategy team developed the Workforce Optimization Cycle, a strategic framework to guide businesses who have been forced to make adjustments and are trying to determine their current and future workforce needs. There are 6 stages to the Workforce Optimization Cycle. Number 1, assess your business. Number 2, project labor demand. Number 3, workforce gap analysis. Number 4, develop workforce strategies. Number 5, implement and communicate. And number 6, monitor, evaluate, and adapt. Due to the uncertainty in the length, type, or complexity of the recovery, it is best to see this as a cyclical business process. Companies may be at different stages of the cycle for different lengths of time, and some may even find themselves repeating steps more than once. Over the next 6 weeks, we will explore each phase in more depth and share resources that will ease the transition for businesses and their employees. The first stage in the workforce optimization cycle is to assess your business. Before a business can get back to work, they need an honest assessment of how the crisis has affected their finances, their access to workers, and their role in public health and safety. For example, even if a company is financially prepared to bring back their entire workforce, they might not have the flexibility to accommodate workers or customers in the current environment, which requires businesses to adhere to social distancing, health and safety requirements. Preparing facilities in remote work capacity when applicable are primary concerns. Deed posts regularly updated guidance for businesses, including a template to begin developing a COVID-19 preparedness plan. This includes guidance to comply with OSHA, CDC, and MDH requirements, prevent infections, develop controls for social distancing, and communicate with workers. Communicating with your employees is critical to easing the transition for all parties. An initial assessment should also include a way to track employee status, such as those who are temporarily furloughed or laid off and may be returning from unemployment insurance. While the general consensus is that those on unemployment insurance should return to work when offered their positions back, Executive Order 20-05 does provide a list of COVID-19 exemptions for workers. This includes those with underlying health issues or caretaking responsibilities. We will touch on this more in Stage 4, Developing Workforce Strategies. Companies need to prepare for facilities to be open under the new guidelines and schedule when staff will be returning to work. Surveying employees is a great way to communicate with your workforce and learn what unique challenges employees are dealing with, their safety concerns when returning to work, and which resources will ultimately support a smooth transition. A survey would give you insight on how to restart your organization in the least disrupting way to you and your employees. It also signals to your employees that you value their opinion when deciding reopening procedures. It could also be a good retention tool, convincing employees not to seek other employment as well. Workspace requirements will also need to meet new social distancing regulations of a minimum of 6 feet. Businesses may need to remove seating in lobbies and reconfigure staff cubicles and set up lunch spaces to meet new guidelines. Staff who can continue to work from home should be allowed to do so if there are no technical limitations or broadband concerns. A key part of the assess your business phase is also reviewing your financial stability. If you have been shut down for a while or didn't close your business at all, this is a good time to take stock of the resources you have available. This may mean conducting an in-depth audit of your physical, human, and financial assets. This internal audit needs to go deep into your balance sheet and income statement. If you have not reviewed your statements, ratios, and overall strategy, this is a great time to do so. Every business will be different, but it's hard to imagine a sector not deeply impacted by COVID-19. Before projecting labor demand, it's important to understand your current assets and liabilities, which will partially inform what your workforce will look like moving forward. Here are some great resources to reference when assessing your business. The second stage is to project labor demand. In addition to internal considerations, it's clear that the current state of the economy is significantly different from pre-COVID-19 conditions. Understanding the new economic landscape will help forecast revenue, at least in the short term, and inform businesses on how their demand for workers has changed. Federal and state authorities continue to improve access to capital. This includes improving access to capital via low interest rates, loan forgiveness programs, and loan guarantees. The effectiveness of these policies and programs will influence the rate of recovery and are important to follow whether they apply to your specific business or not. Minnesota's unemployment rate spiked to 8.1% in April, meaning there are many more out of work job seekers throughout the state due to COVID-19 than there were previously. While many are receiving unemployment insurance benefits, they provide only a temporary safety net. The Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation, FPUC for short, which adds an additional $600 to benefit payments, is set to expire at the end of July. Those who have not returned to work by then will face a significant loss of income and are likely to reduce spending. As consumer spending accounts for approximately two-thirds of GDP, extended unemployment would have a wide range of economic effects, but it also implies that employers have an important role in the economic recovery by supporting their employees' return to work however possible. For an individual business, many factors influence revenue and labor demand. Some inputs, like change in product orders, physical space, and supply chains, will serve as initial indicators to future sales. Less predictable is how well consumer confidence will rebound. For retail and accommodation establishments, concerns for health, safety, and financial stability are likely to linger in the minds of customers and affect demand. Regional and local economies in Minnesota that are highly dependent on a few industries with high layoffs may find their recovery is slower than those areas with more diverse economies. Unemployment Insurance Statistics is an online data tool developed by Deed that shows the number of unemployment claims by industry in each region. Although questions remain about the effects of COVID-19 on the economy and the labor force, Deed, other state agencies, and local partners are developing innovative strategies to respond and help the economy adapt. As the situation evolves, business owners and employers may frequently return to this step to make adjustments and continually improve their approach as well. The third phase in planning for economic recovery is a workforce gap analysis. A workforce gap analysis allows companies to set workforce goals and design their path forward. In order to identify the necessary benchmarks to bridge the workforce gap and track progress, a business would be wise to convene a return to work committee made up of a diverse group of employees. Having identified the number of workers available and how many can be brought back, such a committee can outline a plan for returning to work. At a minimum, this includes ensuring employees on unemployment insurance and paid leave know their options. Those returning on-site and remotely have the resources necessary to perform their job effectively, and drafting the business's COVID-19 preparedness plan. In addition to addressing technical questions, Reopening provides an opportunity for business to learn and adopt inclusive workplace practices and improve its culture. This starts by reviewing employee engagement procedures, holding management and leadership as accountable as employees, and communicating early and often, promoting transparency throughout. As return to work plans are being developed, employers should know their limitations, as well as those of their employees. Discrimination laws based on age, gender, disability, race, or creed remain in place, and employees may be facing difficult choices themselves in their work-life balance. Participation in programs like unemployment insurance, Families First Coronavirus Response Act, or FFCRA, or the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, may complicate their transition back to work for some, while others will be eligible for further protections. Layoffs, furloughs, and job share communications need to be decided and staff contacted and given specific information, including unemployment and the dislocated worker program information. As a reminder, federal law requires employers with at least 100 employees to notify DEED at least 60 days prior to a mass layoff or plant closing. New guidelines for interviewing, hiring, and onboarding need to be developed. There are several training partners in each region that can help ease this burden. If new hiring is necessary, a review of regional and statewide labor market information will help employers start to map their talent pipelines. Minnesota's unemployment rate was 8.1% in April this year, but that will change over time. A number of workers currently laid off will return to their previous employer, while others will seek new opportunities. Again, DEED's unemployment statistics data tool shows the occupations and regions that workers were laid off from during the COVID-19 crisis. Many occupations require skill sets that are similar and transferable, such as those needed in both the healthcare and hospitality sectors. Prior to COVID-19, Minnesota faced an extreme labor shortage, which is likely to return in the years to come. Employers who are able to avoid permanent layoffs or hire others during the recovery will improve their long-term workforce sustainability. Workforce service partners provide critical support when upskilling workers or hiring new. On-the-job training and apprenticeships are just a few of the opportunities for employers to review. Workforce strategy consultants are available to connect your business with regional training partners upon request. Here are a few resources to refer to when working on your company's workforce gap analysis. The fourth stage is to develop workforce strategies. In addition to finalizing a COVID-19 preparedness plan and building out remote work capacity, there are several other workforce development strategies that employers can leverage to bolster their recovery efforts. DEED's workforce strategy consultants are experts in activating resources to build and improve the talent pipelines of various industries and have strong relationships with regional training partners to assist your business with its workforce needs. Finalizing a COVID-19 preparedness plan is a critical component of economic recovery and currently the most important part of a business's workforce strategy. This includes infection and prevention measures that cover prompt identification and isolation of sick persons, social distancing, customer controls and protections, including pickup and deliveries, housekeeping, including cleaning and disinfecting, communications and training, provision of management and supervision, and description on physical workplace changes. Increased distance between workstations or between workers, especially on production lines, must be adapted. Use of barriers when spacing cannot be increased should be put into place. Guidelines on staff riding in same vehicles, taking lunch breaks, and other interactions need to be set. Signage should be posted in all areas of the workplace, noting social distancing, hand washing, and housekeeping. Make sure the policy clearly describes what to do if an employee or one of their family members becomes ill and cleaning measures that will be taken to have a safe work environment. As employees return to work, businesses have an opportunity to explore new employee engagement processes and improve their company culture. Proper engagement should help ascertain whether options like early and phased retirement would be well received. Engaging with workers would also inventory skill sets and think through how responsibilities might shift. Redeployment of talent to areas that need strengthening and cross training and upskilling where possible will help to avoid layoffs. Employers are encouraged to work with employees whenever possible as they transition back to work. It's important to remember that nearly everyone has had disruptions to their life which may affect their ability to return at full strength. If an employee refuses to return and does not give proof of why they are unable to return, you can raise an issue with unemployment. An appeal can be filed by either the applicant or the employer if they want to try to overturn the status of unemployment. Reopening guidelines indicate that businesses should offer and encourage telework wherever it is possible. Employees working from home should be aware of telework policies and procedures, be provided hardware and software resources, and be reimbursed for home office expenses. Remote work training for supervisors and staff will help the transition and help maintain productivity. Several virtual video conference platforms, such as Microsoft Teams and Zoom, will help keep workers and managers connected. Virtual private networks, VPNs, and other security software will help protect your company and private communication with staff. Employers should continue to build the company's talent pipeline. Workforce strategy consultants can connect employers to regional service and training partners to learn more about on-the-job training for new hires, transitional job opportunities, work experience for young adults, and incumbent worker training to upskill existing workers. Research on customized training and apprenticeship opportunities can also be completed. Relationships with high school teachers, college educators, and adult basic education facilitators are important for developing training programs that fit employers' needs. Career Force staff can help with online recruiting via virtual career fairs and/or creating an employer profile to promote their company and connect with career seekers. Innovative recruitment strategies will also benefit employers who are hiring. Reaching out to select talent pools such as older adults, 55 and plus, through the Senior Community Service Employment Program, employment services for veterans, helping individuals with criminal records re-enter through employment, vocational rehabilitation services for people with disabilities, and state services for the blind. By hiring from many of these groups, businesses can take advantage of the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, WOTC, which is a federal credit available to employers for hiring from groups who have consistently faced significant barriers to employment. Remote work options, flexible scheduling, and shift options are strong incentives when recruiting and retaining workers. Daycare reimbursements and local care subsidies are also a great benefit to staff with young families. Businesses in rural communities should also promote their small town atmosphere, public safety, lower cost of living, strong school districts, and short commute times. Statewide training grants offered by DEED and the Department of Labor and Industry support talent pipelines by working with businesses, educational institutions, and workforce partners to train or retrain workers, expand work opportunities, and keep high-quality jobs in Minnesota. Grants from the Minnesota Job Skills Partnership, Job Training Incentive Program, Low Income Worker Training Program, and Automation Training Incentive Program are meant to offset training-related expenses businesses, educational institutions, and nonprofit organizations incur to meet workforce needs. The Department of Labor and Industry offers apprenticeship guidance, including the dual training pipeline and youth skills training grants to help businesses grow skilled workers, customize employee training, and develop a diverse workforce that fits their needs. Opportunities for automation may also exist when measured against the cost of hard to fill positions. Companies may have a limited skilled workforce or may take the opportunity to audit efficiencies and product waste. For businesses who choose to invest in automation equipment, the Automation Training Incentive Program, or ATIP, provides funds to train workers on the new equipment. Here are resources to assist with developing workforce strategies. Step 5 is communicate and implement. Clear and ongoing communication of workforce changes will be critical to a smooth recovery and sustainable success. Delivering quality training is perhaps the most important step, although consistent messaging and follow-up conversations are also important. It's vital to remember that adjusting to major shifts in workplace policies takes time. However, companies that foster an inclusive culture tend to embrace change easier, and those who involved employees when developing their COVID-19 preparedness plan will find a smoother implementation process. In addition, promoting a commitment to public health and workplace safety will encourage unity between your employees and customers, especially for public-facing businesses. Clear communication and implementation of workforce changes will be cyclical in the process. All new policies and procedures should be given to the employees to review, and training should be made available. It is necessary that new procedures are understood. If changes are made, notification to staff should be done immediately. Ensure employees know their work schedule or are notified of any changes. Alert any employees who will not be returning and make sure that they are given their benefit options and unemployment resources that are available. Here are more resources for you to review in the communication and implementation process of the workforce optimization cycle. The final stage of the workforce optimization cycle is to monitor, evaluate, and adapt. Rather than following a 1, 2, or 5-year plan, now is the time to evaluate often and pivot accordingly. The full impact of COVID-19 and the pace of the economy recovery are still to be determined, but we will recover. Some of these questions will be answered by the steps businesses and employers are taking today. Businesses should monitor progress against milestones, evaluate their processes, and revise the plan to stay successful. Stay informed and up to date on your business and the industry that you are in. Improvements should be continually assessed. Adjust the plan and course corrections should be done efficiently and effectively. Work issues should be addressed immediately and communication should be continual. Here are a couple more resources to assist in the final phase of the economic recovery. The Workforce Optimization Cycle is an operational guide that each business can follow to identify their unique challenges and best strategies for reopening. Most importantly, it will enable workforce strategies to be implemented safely, effectively, and productively under new and largely uncertain economic conditions. Follow DEED's workforce strategy team as we dive more into each phase, talk with subject matter experts from organizations throughout the state, and share resources that will help along the way. Here is our content schedule for the release of each of our phases in the workforce optimization cycle. The full menu of content will be available on careerforcemn.com as it is released. Thank you for joining our overview of the workforce optimization cycle. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or any member of the Workforce Strategy Consultant team.